Hi, I'm Kris Barney with All Things Possible, and welcome to our episode this week. I'm thrilled to have you here with me. I am again in my beautiful outdoors. I love living in the mountains, and I love being able to have you with me and join me for this week's episode. Our episode this week is True Greatness Through Genuine Authenticity. That sounds like a big mouthful, and it is, but we're going to talk about being our true authentic self and the benefits in doing that. Before we do that, I want to just invite you, if you have not joined our community, to go to the website. It's right here on the screen, allthingspossible.biz, and join with us. By joining, you get my 7 Traits video series, which is a lot of love, sweat, and tears, but it is my gift to you. And if you will implement those 7 traits in your life, you will see dramatic results and have improvement in all areas. So join me on my website, allthingspossible.biz, and join our community. Be part of us and get those benefits and the gifts that are there for you. Let's jump into this week's episode. Being authentic. You know, so much of the time people are like, oh, be authentic, but what does it really mean and why? You need to be your true self. If you want to be successful in life, it is time to drop the masks, stop pretending, and stop being like the crowd. We are not trying to keep up with the Joneses. We are not following the crowd and doing what everybody else does. To be successful in life right now in our world, we have to be authentic. And to be authentic, there are some things we need to take a look at. When I say drop the mask, I mean so much of the time we're trying to do it like everybody else. Be it being a mom, being, our different roles. So many of us have different roles. For me, myself, some of the roles that I have is speaker, trainer, mom, author, wife, grandma, right? Sister. There's so many different things that we have in our life, and we have to be authentic. We have to be able to be our genuine self. We have got to get in touch with what's deep in our heart and be able to find that for ourselves and be that. I am not the same person when I'm a speaker versus a mom. Yet I've got to find my beliefs, my values, all those things that are my core to be able to draw from that. As a speaker, I can't copy anyone else. I won't be very successful at that. You have to be authentic, you have to be real, and you have to be you. So whatever that looks like for you, if that's a job, if you're just a mom, or if you're the boss of a company. For the men and the training that I do corporately, I work with a lot of men, and they're trying to live up to the standard of what everybody else thinks they need to live up to and how that looks. And yet, when they're their true, authentic self, they are much more valuable, much more powerful, and much more successful. So let's talk about a few of these things. First, we must really look inside. So everything I teach is about coming from the inside out, because truly you have to be in touch with you. You have to know what's deep in your heart, where those values are, and your character. You have to be in alignment with that to be the best version of you that you can become. And when we look inside, we can start to see those things that matter most to us. What is it about you? How are you unique? How are you different? How are you showing up? Are you showing up in that uniqueness and being different and being authentic? We have to embrace it. When I say showing up, when we're embracing it, we're being our true self. Most of you that have been on here in our community for a long time know that I do these videos all the time. We have 150, 135, something like that, videos online. And most of them are done start to finish with no cuts in there and no editing. Just add the front and back and be real. And I talk about it being raw and real because there's times that I have mess ups. There's times that I say the wrong thing, or I don't say what I was supposed to say or what I thought I would say. Or like today, the wind is blowing my hair in my face, right? And yet for me, my authentic self says, film start to finish, let them see the real you. That's me. Because I want you to see the real me. I want you to see that it's okay to have mess ups. It's okay to not be perfect. It's okay to do things a little bit differently. And it's okay to have, a wardrobe thing go wrong or your hair not be perfect. It's okay. So embrace it. Know your values, know your character. Be secure in that. Be secure in being genuine. So find your talents and your abilities and own them. Be able to use those to better yourself and to improve yourself to move forward. When you work in your true authentic self, you're more successful. You're more creative. You have more success in, you trust your decisions. You go forward faster. There's so many different aspects that play a part in this when you can truly come from within. Come from the inside out. Reflect on who you really are. Embrace it, know your values, know your character, and live up to it. So many times I have clients and I do some one-on-one coaching, life coaching with clients, and they have these great values and they have this vision of the character that they have or they want. And the first thing that I can do when I'm going into whether they have confidence, whether they have their integrity, whether they have success going on. When I go into these things, the first thing that I look at is where's your character? Where are you in alignment? And where are you out of alignment? Where could we do a little improvement here or there and make it better? How could we adjust? And when I don't make them, when I invite them to look inside, when I say, what would it look like if you were to do this a little differently? That is when they have to go deep inside and they have to really say, okay, do I really want this? Is this what's for me? Is it for me? Am I willing to change? So much of the time this all comes down to change and whether we're willing to do it. But what I can tell you is in our world today, in business, in parenting, in relationships, everybody is sick of pretend. Sick and tired of pretend. Everybody is sick of the masks and trying to pretend that you're one thing when you're not. A good example of this is, say your relationship at home's not going well and there's some confrontation and you show up with your friends or your neighbors or maybe your church group or your community and you put on this smiley face and you pretend like everything's okay. And nobody has a clue. People can't reach out and help you, but they know something's wrong. They sense the energy. They sense there's a situation. Now, I'm not saying we need to go air our dirty laundry everywhere we go. I'm not saying it's go and complain about our spouse or our relationships. But what I am saying is that we have to be true and authentic to ourselves. If we truly, in our heart, want to be a happy person, we have to come about life being happy. Okay, there's several things we can adjust and move there just to make sure that we are in that space. We need to find the good. We need to stop complaining. Like, complaining's got to go away. It doesn't do us any good. It just puts us in the negative and keeps us in this cycle of going back and forth and finding the negative in everything that we do. So, for you to discover your major shifts that you can have within yourself, when you are authentic, there's 3 things that I really want to share with you and drive deep for a minute. The 3 things that you have got to really focus on and identify is, number 1, your integrity level. Integrity is huge, right? For those that have been with me forever know that integrity is a big, huge topic. I speak on it all the time. And I challenge you to raise your integrity. I'm not challenging you to raise your integrity compared to your neighbor or compared to your spouse. Raise it from where you are right now to where it could be. Where do you want it to be? The more you trust and respect yourself, the higher your integrity. The more you actually do what you say, the more you'll trust yourself. So if you say, I'm going to get up and exercise, get up and exercise. If you say, I'm going to go on a diet, be on a diet. If you say, I'm going to complete that task, complete it. If you say, I'm going to spend time with a child, spend time with a child. Be able to trust and respect yourself at the highest level possible. It will raise your integrity faster than anything else. If you raise your integrity, you will raise your authenticity. And as you're more authentic, your integrity will raise. It's a double thing here. There's double benefit in doing this the right way and in doing this in a way that uplifts you to the next level. The second one I want to bring up is confidence. If you want your confidence to soar, we're going to raise that self-esteem, that belief in yourself, that value, you have got to be authentic. I can't say this enough. Your confidence level will skyrocket if you are authentically you. Find your gifts and your talents, find your abilities, and raise that confidence level. And while I'm talking, I hope you can hear the four-wheeler in the background, because it's definitely here, and I'm not changing this because I'm being authentic. Anyway, back to this little thing that we're doing. Confidence is something that you have to own yourself. Confidence has to come from within. Again, look from the inside out. Confidence is huge. Your confidence won't raise if you do not focus on what you can do to improve your confidence, improve your self-esteem. And being authentic is one of those things. Again, to be authentic, you have to be confident in what your belief system is. So dial in on what's your beliefs, what's your values, what is your character? How do you want to show up for people? How do you want your business to look? How do you want your family to go? How do you want your relationships? It all comes into play. And it's all part of our perspective as well as our reality. So as we get better at this, things are better. It's not pretend. It's not a mask. It's not pretend, and it is not following the crowd. It is being you. Own it. Be you. And love being you. No one else is you. You are the only you. And you're the best version. So honor that. The third thing is our productivity and success. To be productive and, like All Things Possible, our company, to have the possibilities come for you, you've got to embrace your uniqueness. I have a dear, dear friend. His name is Jason Hewlett. I've done an interview with him, and maybe you've heard of him. He is a famous entertainer and speaker. He teaches on The Promise. And he is phenomenal. But he's unique. He is who he is. The comedian, the leader, the inspiration, because of being unique and embracing it, embodying who he is and what he's about. You will never hear him speak on the stage saying something that he doesn't do in real life. He lives it. He is Jason Hewlett, and he lives it all the time. He's the same person on stage as off stage. He's the same person raising his kids as telling you how he's going to raise, or how you should raise kids, or what you could do differently. He does it. He lives it. He's just a phenomenal example of this. And his authenticity is just unbelievable. He's so authentic. He is amazing, and he is funny, yet he's real. And he lives it. He honors that code. Another person that really, I feel like, honored the authenticity was Whitney Houston. She was one of the famous people that I loved to listen to sing as I grew up. And I would belt out her songs, and I don't sing a lot, but I loved it. But she became famous, and she became all she was because she embraced who she was authentic to herself, and went the distance. And when you learn her whole story, it is amazing to hear how famous she got. And I'm not going to say she had the perfect life or she's the perfect example, but I am going to say, if you want to go farther in life, be more productive, more successful, be authentic, be real, get in touch with those values, those beliefs, that character, right? And honor it. Be on that honor code like nothing else. Drop the stress. You can drop so much stress by not having to try to be like anybody else, by being you and being okay with being you. You're not going to become anyone else. You're always going to be you. But are you being the best version of you? You know, I use this a lot in leadership. Are you being the leader that you would follow? Are you? That's being authentic. Are you being the leader that you would want to follow? That you'd be drawn to follow, that you would be inspired by? right? That's how we become that. Be who and what you are and what you are meant to be. That's huge. Who you are meant to be. Become that, because you can. Constantly be willing to up level. I constantly have a mentor, constantly have things I'm working on to improve, because nobody's perfect. And if you don't believe me, go listen to that movie. Go listen to that episode of Nobody's Perfect. Everybody can improve. And as we improve and up level, we just get better and better. And there's still room to grow. When we live authentically, and when we are authentically us, being everything that we are meant to be, and being our best version, we attract those that love us. That's how we're more successful. They're drawn to us. They work well with us. So whether you're a manager or a department head or just a mom and dad, being a father, we attract those and they love us. They believe in us. They want success for us. And if we will follow that pattern, we will be more successful. Our productivity will go up no matter what we're doing in every area. So that's the 3 things I want you to think about. Your integrity level, your confidence level, and your productivity. All of those, all 3 of those will be dramatically shifted in your life if you are willing to be authentic, be real, and be you. I hope you've enjoyed our episode today. I hope this has given you something to think about and put into practice, and that you want more information about, because I love to give more information. Check my blog, check my website. There's tons and tons of content for you there. And know that I speak from authentically not being myself. I went through challenges of not liking myself, of not approving of myself, of not valuing me. I know what that's like. I know how easy it is to fall in that trap and stay stuck. But you don't have to. You don't have to stay stuck. You don't have to be in that trap. And you can be awesome, successful, confident, and live in that integrity and enjoy life. Love your life and love where you are. If you haven't joined us on our website, again, I just remind you to jump onto our website, allthingspossible.biz, and get your free gifts and be a part of our community. We love having you here and would love for you to join us right here with All Things Possible. Again, I'm Kris Barney. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.